Have you ever felt like your life is stuck on repeat? The same problems, the same struggles day after day? What if I told you there's a hidden power within you that can change everything? It's called the mirror principle, and it's not some fancy technique or complicated strategy. It's all about who you become on the inside. Imagine wanting to be a millionaire. The truth is, you need to feel like a millionaire in your heart and mind before you see it in your bank account. If you don't, you'll keep jumping from one thing to another, thinking the problem is out there somewhere. But here's the real deal. If you don't change on the inside, nothing on the outside will change. That's what the mirror principle is all about. It's like having a superpower that can turn everything you touch into gold. But there's a catch. You have to face your own demons, look at your own reflection, and be honest with yourself. It might not be easy, but if you're ready for a big change in your life, this video is for you. I'm going to share with you a powerful exercise that I still use today. So let's dive in and discover how this principle can totally transform your life. Think of reality as a big mirror that shows you two important things: how you see yourself and how you see the world around you. It's like having a friend who always agrees with what you believe about yourself and life. If you look in the mirror and think, "I'm not good enough," guess what? The mirror says, "You're right, you're not good enough." Here's more proof of why you can't do it. The mirror just reflects back what you believe. It's not trying to be mean. It's just showing you what you're putting out there. Now here's where it gets interesting. Instead of trying to change what you see in the mirror directly, we need to change the image we're showing to the mirror. It's like when you tell someone, "Don't do that." They're more likely to do exactly what you told them not to do. But if you explain why something might not be a good idea and how it could affect them, they're more likely to listen. We need to do the same thing with our reality. Influence it in a smart way, not force it. The mirror of reality makes stronger whatever you truly believe about yourself and the world. This is super important to remember because it's the key to changing your life. But how do we actually do this? How do we break the old patterns and choose what we really want? First things first, you need to get clear about what you want in the long run. Think about where you want to be in 10 years. What do you see yourself doing every day? What makes your life exciting and full of new discoveries? Now ask yourself, who am I when I'm living that life? What kind of person am I when I have all those things I want? This is really important because it helps you create your new identity. Next, think about how you see the world when you're living that amazing life. How does the world look and feel to you? This is your new worldview. Once you have these ideas, it's time to make them real with powerful statements about yourself. These are called affirmations. For example, you might say, "I am worthy. I attract abundance because I have the magic touch of someone who can turn anything into something valuable." Then make statements about how you see the world, like, "The world works in my favor. Everything happens at the right time and for a good reason." Now here's the magic part. Say these things to yourself every day. Really feel them and believe them. You'll start to see amazing changes in how you see the world and yourself. Even if what you want seems really hard right now, it doesn't mean you can't get there. Everything takes time, practice, and patience. So be kind to yourself, but don't let fear stop you from going after what you really want. Take some time to do this exercise. Write down your new identity and worldview. Say them out loud. Feel them in your heart. This simple act has the power to completely change your life. It might feel a bit silly at first, but stick with it. The results can be incredible. Remember, the mirror principle isn't about pretending or lying to yourself. It's about choosing to focus on the best parts of yourself and the world around you. It's about believing in your potential and the good things that can happen. When you do this, you start to notice more opportunities, more positive experiences, and more reasons to feel good about yourself and your life. As you practice this, you might notice that things don't change overnight. That's normal, and it brings us to another important part of the mirror principle. The reflection we see in our everyday life takes some time to catch up with our new thoughts and feelings. In our minds, we can imagine something new instantly, but in the physical world, things move a bit slower. This is why it's so important to stick with your new beliefs and identity, even when you don't see results right away. Think of it like planting a seed. When you put a seed in the ground, you don't see the plant right away. But if you keep watering it and giving it sunlight, eventually it grows into a beautiful flower or tree. Your new identity and worldview are like that seed. You plant them in your mind, and if you keep nurturing them with your thoughts and actions, they'll grow into your new reality. Some people give up too soon because they don't see changes right away. They might start feeling negative again, thinking it's not working. But here's the funny thing. Often, just when they're about to give up, that's when their manifestation shows up. It's like the universe was just waiting to see if they really meant it. This leads to an interesting pattern in life. You might notice that things go up and down like waves. You feel good, things get better. Then maybe you hit a rough patch and things seem to get worse. But if you can stay true to your new identity and worldview through the ups and downs, you'll notice that overall, your life keeps getting better and better. The key is to always stay loyal to the person you want to be and the way you want to see the world. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus on the good things, the possibilities, and your own inner strength, even when things are tough. Now, let's talk about something really powerful that I use every day. It's about understanding what the mirror of reality actually reflects. Here's the important thing. The mirror doesn't reflect the nature of your thoughts, but their content. What does that mean? Well, if you keep saying, I hate my boring job, I hate my boss, I hate these bills, the mirror doesn't reflect the hate itself. It reflects what you're focusing on, the boring job, the difficult boss, the bills. So guess what happens? You get more of those things. This is why complaining about what you don't have or don't want just brings more of that into your life. It gives you more reasons to keep complaining. This is the big difference between thinking there's never enough, scarcity, and thinking there's plenty to go around, abundance. It's like seeing a glass as half empty or half full. So how do you use this in your life? It's simple but powerful. Focus on what you want and what you already have. To make any change happen, start by appreciating what's already good in your life. Think about all the progress you've made, the good people in your life, the things that make you happy. Then think about what you want. What would make your life even better? How would that feel? When you do this, something magical starts to happen. The gap between your current life and the life you want starts to close. You start to push yourself out of your comfort zone in good ways. You notice opportunities you might have missed before. You feel more confident and capable. This isn't about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing where to put your energy and focus. When you focus on the good things and the possibilities, you become more creative in solving problems. You feel more empowered to make changes. You start to see challenges as opportunities to grow instead of roadblocks. Remember, the mirror of reality is always reflecting something. By choosing to focus on the positive aspects of your life and the things you want to achieve, you're giving the mirror something good to reflect back to you. It's like tuning a radio to your favorite station. You're tuning your life to the frequency of what you want, not what you don't want. This takes practice, especially if you're used to focusing on problems or worrying about what might go wrong. But the more you do it, the easier it gets. Start small. Maybe spend a few minutes each day thinking about what you're grateful for and visualizing what you want to achieve. Pay attention to the good things that happen during your day, no matter how small. Celebrate your progress and successes, even the tiny ones. As you do this, you'll start to notice changes. Maybe you'll feel more optimistic or confident. Maybe you'll start seeing opportunities you didn't notice before. Maybe people will respond to you differently. These small changes can add up to big transformations over time. Remember, you're not trying to ignore reality or pretend everything is perfect. You're choosing to focus on the aspects of reality that align with your goals and values. You're training your mind to look for the good, the possible, and the positive. This doesn't mean bad things won't happen, but it means you'll be better equipped to handle challenges when they come. Think of it like being a detective looking for clues. Instead of looking for clues about what's wrong or what you don't like, you're looking for clues about what's right, what's possible, and what you can appreciate. The more you look for these positive clues, the more you'll find them. This brings us to another important aspect of the mirror principle, the mirror cycle. Understanding and using this cycle can change everything for you. It can help you feel more certain about what you're doing and actually see reality changing before your eyes. Here's how the mirror cycle usually works for most people. First, they observe their current situation. Maybe they see bills piling up or a job they don't like. Then, based on what they see, they form an attitude or image in their mind. This image is made up of their thoughts and feelings about the situation. The mirror of reality then reflects this image, creating more of the same in their life. The problem is, most people get stuck here. They look at the reflection, the results in their life, and use that to form their next thought or attitude. It becomes a loop. See something negative, think negative thoughts, get negative results, see something negative again. It's like being on a hamster wheel, running but not getting anywhere. This is why sometimes people try different strategies or start new projects, but end up back where they started. They get excited for a while, but then fall back into old patterns. Why? Because they haven't made a real change inside themselves, in their core beliefs and identity. But here's the good news. You can flip this cycle around and use it to create positive change. Instead of starting with what you observe in your current reality, start with the image you want to create. Turn your back on the current reflection for a moment and focus on what you want to see instead. This is important because what you see around you now was created by decisions and thoughts you had in the past. If you want to shape your future, you need to make conscious choices today about what you want to see. So, start with the image of what you want. Really feel it. Believe in it. The mirror of reality has no choice but to start reflecting this new image. At first, the changes might be small. You might only see tiny shifts. But instead of looking for what's not working, confirm what is working. Look for the small positive changes and celebrate them. For example, if you're working on being more confident, notice when people respond to you a little better. If you're trying to improve your work or business, notice the small things that are getting better. Even if some things in your life seem to be falling apart, focus on the parts that align with your new image and identity. The key is to keep doing this. The more you focus on the positive changes and the image of what you want, the more it will grow. Over time, it can turn into something beyond what you ever imagined possible. I know this might sound a bit out there, but I've applied these principles myself and seen real results. At first, I thought it was nonsense, but when I saw things starting to change in my life, it blew my mind. Things I wanted started coming to me, often in ways I never expected. As we dive deeper into understanding the mirror of reality, we discover an inner power that we often overlook. What we see around us is really an echo of our beliefs, our identity, and how we view the world. But here's the secret to making big changes. Instead of just watching reality happen to us, we can shape our destiny by creating a clear image of who we want to be and what we want to achieve. When we form this new image in our minds and hearts, the mirror of reality starts to respond. It might start with small changes, but over time, it can transform our entire life. The mirror of reality doesn't have limits. It just responds to what we show it. It's like we're all alchemists, able to turn the lead in our lives into gold. We do this by choosing to focus on abundance, on what we have and what we want, instead of what we lack or fear. In the end, our journey with the mirror of reality is really about finding the truth within ourselves. It's about celebrating our ability to create, to innovate, and to grow beyond what we thought was possible. It's about realizing that we have the power to shape our lives and our world through our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. As I dove deeper into understanding and applying the mirror principle, I had some big aha moments that really changed how I saw everything. One of the biggest things I learned was that our thoughts are like seeds. Just like how a tiny acorn can grow into a massive oak tree, our smallest thoughts can grow into huge life experiences. It's like we're all gardeners, but instead of planting flowers or vegetables, we're planting thoughts and beliefs that grow into our reality. This made me see my mind in a whole new way. I realized that every thought I had wasn't just a random idea floating through my head. It was a potential seed for something real in my life. It made me much more careful about what I allowed myself to think about and focus on. Instead of letting my mind wander to worries or complaints, I started to consciously plant more positive thoughts and expectations. Another big realization was about the power of gratitude. I used to think being grateful was just about being polite or feeling good, but I discovered it's so much more powerful than that. When you're truly grateful for something, you're telling the mirror of reality, "Hey, I really like this. Can I have more, please?" And amazingly, the mirror starts to reflect back more things to be grateful for. I started a simple practice of listing 3 things I was grateful for every morning and every night. At first, it felt a bit forced, but as I kept doing it, I began to notice more and more good things in my life. It was like I had put on special glasses that helped me see all the positive stuff I'd been overlooking before. This simple habit started to shift my whole experience of life. The third big realization was about the importance of aligning my actions with my new beliefs and identity. It wasn't enough to just think differently. I had to start acting differently too. If I wanted to be more confident, I had to start doing things that confident people do, even if I felt scared or unsure at first. If I wanted to be more successful, I had to start taking actions that successful people take, even if they felt uncomfortable at first. This was challenging because it meant stepping out of my comfort zone a lot. But I realized that every time I took an action that aligned with my new identity and beliefs, it was like sending a powerful message to the mirror of reality. It was like saying, look, I'm not just thinking about being this new person. I'm actually becoming this new person. These realizations didn't happen all at once. They came gradually as I practiced working with the mirror principle. But each one felt like a light bulb going off in my mind, illuminating parts of life I'd never really seen clearly before. They helped me understand that changing my life wasn't just about positive thinking. It was about a whole new way of seeing myself and the world, and then bringing that new vision to life through my thoughts, feelings, and actions. Now, I want to be real with you. Working with the mirror principle isn't always smooth sailing. There were definitely times when I faced some tough challenges, and I think it's important to talk about these because they're a normal part of the process. One of the biggest hurdles I faced was dealing with doubt. Even though I was seeing positive changes in my life, there were days when that little voice in my head would pipe up and say, "This is all nonsense. You're just fooling yourself." These doubts could be really strong, especially when things weren't going as well as I hoped or when I faced setbacks. What helped me overcome this was remembering that doubt is just another thought. It's not the truth. I started to see doubt as a sign that I was pushing against my old beliefs and growing. Instead of trying to fight the doubt, I'd acknowledge it and then gently redirect my focus back to what I wanted to create. I'd remind myself of the positive changes I'd already seen and the possibilities I was working towards. Another challenge was dealing with the reactions of people around me. Some of my friends and family didn't really understand what I was doing. They'd see me trying to change my thinking or take new actions, and they'd be skeptical or even critical. This was tough because I cared about these people and valued their opinions. I learned that it was okay not to share everything with everyone. I didn't need to explain or justify my journey to those who weren't open to it. Instead, I focused on connecting with people who were supportive or on a similar path. I joined online groups and found books that helped me feel less alone in this process. Over time, as people saw positive changes in me, many became more open and supportive. One of the hardest challenges was staying consistent, especially when I didn't see immediate results. There were times when I felt like I was doing everything right, but nothing was changing. It was frustrating and disheartening. What helped me through these periods was remembering that change often happens slowly, and sometimes we can't see the full picture while we're in the middle of it. I started keeping a journal where I'd write down small positive changes or synchronicities I noticed. This helped me see progress I might have otherwise missed. I also learned to celebrate the internal changes, like feeling more peaceful or confident, even if my external circumstances hadn't shifted yet. Another thing that really helped was developing a regular practice of meditation or quiet reflection. This gave me a chance to step back from my thoughts and emotions and connect with a deeper part of myself. It helped me stay centered and reminded me that I was more than my current circumstances or challenges. I want to emphasize that facing these challenges isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's actually a normal and important part of the process. Each challenge is an opportunity to strengthen your new beliefs and identity. It's like working out. The resistance is what builds your strength. If you're going through tough times while working with the mirror principle, be gentle with yourself. Remember that it's okay to take breaks or to focus on self-care. Sometimes, stepping back for a bit can give you a fresh perspective. And don't be afraid to ask for help or support when you need it. This journey is personal, but you don't have to do it all alone. Now, let's talk about the good stuff, the positive changes that can come from working with the mirror principle. These changes can show up in all areas of your life, and they're what make all the effort worthwhile. One of the first big changes I noticed was in my overall mood and outlook. I started to feel more optimistic and hopeful, even when facing challenges. It wasn't that negative emotions disappeared completely, they still came up sometimes, but I found I could bounce back from them more quickly. I wasn't getting stuck in bad moods or negative thought spirals like I used to. This shift in my emotional state made everyday life feel lighter and more enjoyable. My relationships started to improve too. As I became more positive and self-aware, I found I was attracting different kinds of people into my life. My connections with others became deeper and more authentic. I was better at communicating my needs and understanding others' perspectives. Even my existing relationships got better. As I changed how I saw myself and others, the dynamics in these relationships naturally shifted in positive ways. One really exciting change was in my work life. As I aligned my thoughts and actions with my new identity and goals, I started noticing more opportunities. Sometimes these came as lucky breaks or chance meetings, but I realized these were often the result of me being more open and aware. I felt more confident in taking on new challenges and putting myself out there. This led to growth in my career that I hadn't thought possible before. My physical health improved too, which was an unexpected but welcome change. As I focused more on positive thoughts and taking better care of myself, I naturally started making healthier choices. I had more energy to exercise, I craved nutritious foods, and I prioritized getting enough sleep. It was like my whole body was responding to the positive changes in my mind. One of the most profound changes was in how I handled stress and adversity. Life still had its ups and downs, but I found I could navigate challenges with more grace and resilience. Instead of seeing problems as insurmountable obstacles, I started to view them as opportunities for growth and learning. This shift made a huge difference in my overall quality of life. I also noticed that I was becoming more creative and open to new ideas. It was like the mirror principle had unlocked a part of my mind that I hadn't had access to before. I found myself coming up with innovative solutions to problems and exploring new hobbies and interests. Life felt more vibrant and full of possibilities. My financial situation improved as well. As I worked on my beliefs about money and abundance, I started making better financial decisions. I became more aware of opportunities to increase my income and more responsible with my spending. It wasn't about suddenly winning the lottery, but rather about creating a healthier overall relationship with money. Perhaps the most significant change was in my sense of purpose and connection to something greater than myself. I began to feel like I was part of something bigger, that my life had meaning beyond just my personal goals and desires. This gave me a sense of peace and fulfillment that I hadn't experienced before. It's important to note that these changes didn't all happen overnight. They unfolded gradually, and there were certainly ups and downs along the way. But as I stayed committed to working with the mirror principle, these positive shifts became more pronounced and stable over time. One of the most beautiful things about these changes was how they created a positive feedback loop. As I experienced more positive outcomes, it became easier to maintain my new thought patterns and beliefs. This, in turn, led to even more positive changes. It was like I had stepped onto an upward spiral of growth and transformation. I also found that as I changed, I naturally wanted to help others experience similar positive shifts in their lives. This desire to share what I'd learned added another layer of meaning and fulfillment to my journey. Remember, everyone's experience with the mirror principle is unique. The changes you experience might be different from mine, but they'll be perfectly tailored to your own growth and journey. The key is to stay open, patient, and committed to the process. Trust that as you continue to work with the mirror principle, you'll see beautiful transformations unfolding in your life too. As I've traveled this path of working with the mirror principle, one of the most important things I've learned is that this journey never really ends. It's not about reaching a final destination where everything is perfect and stays that way forever. Instead, it's about embracing a lifelong process of growth and discovery. Even now, years after I first started working with the mirror principle, I'm still learning new things every day. Each experience, whether it's a success or a challenge, brings new insights and opportunities for growth. I've come to see life as a kind of school, where every situation is a chance to learn more about myself and the world around me. One of the biggest lessons I'm still working on is staying present and aware in each moment. It's easy to get caught up in thoughts about the past or worries about the future. But I've found that the real magic happens when I'm fully engaged with what's happening right now. This is where I can most clearly see the mirror of reality at work and make conscious choices about what I want to create. Another area I'm constantly exploring is the balance between accepting things as they are and working to change them. The mirror principle isn't about forcing reality to bend to our will. It's about aligning our inner world with our desires in a way that allows positive change to flow naturally. Finding this balance is an ongoing practice, and I'm always discovering new nuances to it. I'm also continually amazed by the interconnectedness of everything. As I've worked on myself, I've seen how it ripples out and affects not just my immediate circumstances, but the wider world around me. This has deepened my sense of responsibility and my desire to contribute positively to the world. One of the most exciting aspects of this ongoing journey is that there's always more to discover. Just when I think I've got it all figured out, life presents a new challenge or opportunity that shows me there's still more to learn. This keeps the journey fresh and exciting. I've also found that my goals and desires have evolved over time. As I've grown and changed, what I want out of life has shifted too. The mirror principle has helped me stay flexible and open to these changes, rather than rigidly clinging to old ideas of what I thought I wanted. The key to this ongoing journey, I've found, is to stay curious and open. Every day brings new experiences and insights if we're willing to look for them. It's about embracing the journey itself rather than being fixated on a specific outcome. Remember, working with the mirror principle isn't about achieving perfection. It's about continuous growth, self-discovery, and creating a life that feels authentic and fulfilling to you. Stay open to the process, be patient with yourself, and trust that each step of the journey is unfolding exactly as it should. If you're just starting out on this journey with the mirror principle, or if you're looking to deepen your practice, I'd like to share some advice that I've found helpful along the way. First and foremost, be patient with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. Remember that every small step forward is progress. Don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Trust that the changes are happening, even if they're not always visible right away. Start with small, manageable changes. You don't have to overhaul your entire life in one go. Begin by choosing one area of your life to focus on. Maybe it's your relationships, your career, or your health. As you see positive changes in one area, it will give you the confidence to expand to others. Develop a daily practice. This could be meditation, journaling, affirmations, or any combination of these. The key is consistency. Even just 10 to 15 minutes a day can make a big difference over time. Use this time to connect with your inner self, clarify your intentions, and align your thoughts with what you want to create. Be mindful of your self-talk. Pay attention to the words you use when you think about yourself and your life. Are they mostly positive or negative? Practice catching negative self-talk and consciously replacing it with more positive, empowering thoughts. Remember, your thoughts are seeds that grow into your reality. Surround yourself with supportive people. Share your journey with friends or family members who are open to these ideas. Consider joining a group or community of like-minded individuals. Having support can make a big difference, especially when you're facing challenges. Keep learning and exploring. Read books, listen to podcasts, or attend workshops related to personal growth and the law of attraction. The more you learn, the more tools you'll have to work with. But remember to trust your own intuition too. Not everything will resonate with you, and that's okay. Practice gratitude daily. This is one of the most powerful tools you have. Each day, take time to appreciate the good things in your life, no matter how small. This shifts your focus to the positive and tells the universe you're ready for more good things. Be open to unexpected opportunities. Sometimes the mirror of reality responds in ways we don't anticipate. Stay open and flexible. What looks like a setback at first might actually be opening the door to something even better. Take inspired action. While working with your thoughts and beliefs is important, it's also crucial to take action in the physical world. Listen to your intuition and act on ideas and opportunities that feel right to you. Be kind to yourself. This journey isn't about being perfect. There will be ups and downs, and that's normal. Treat yourself with compassion, especially when things get tough. Remember that every experience, even the challenging ones, is an opportunity for growth. Stay committed, but don't be rigid. Have a clear vision of what you want, but be open to the possibility that something even better might come along. Sometimes the universe has plans for us that are beyond what we can imagine for ourselves. Finally, remember that this is your unique journey. What works for someone else might not work exactly the same way for you. Trust your own experience and intuition. You have all the wisdom you need within you. The mirror principle is just a tool to help you access it. As we come to the end of this exploration of the mirror principle, I hope you're feeling inspired and empowered to begin or deepen your own journey. Remember, the mirror of reality is always reflecting something back to you. By understanding and working with this principle, you have the power to shape that reflection in beautiful and transformative ways. Your life is like a canvas, and your thoughts, beliefs, and actions are the brushes and colors you use to paint your reality. The mirror principle gives you the awareness to choose your colors consciously and create a masterpiece that truly reflects who you are and what you desire. This journey isn't always easy. There will be challenges and moments of doubt. But these are all part of the process, helping you grow stronger and clearer in your vision. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. As you move forward, keep in mind that change starts from within. The outer world will shift as your inner world transforms. Be patient with the process and trust that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. Remember to stay curious and open. The mirror principle isn't about controlling every aspect of your life, but about aligning yourself with the flow of positive change. Sometimes, the universe might have even better plans for you than you could imagine. Most importantly, enjoy the journey. This isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about who you become along the way. Every day is an opportunity to learn, grow, and create. Embrace each moment with gratitude and wonder. You have within you the power to create a life filled with joy, purpose, and fulfillment. The mirror of reality is waiting to reflect back the beauty and potential that exists within you. Trust in yourself, stay committed to your vision, and watch as your world transforms in amazing ways. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the mirror principle. May your journey be filled with light, love, and endless possibilities. Remember, the power to change your life is always within you, reflected in the mirror of reality. Embrace it and let your true self shine.